Who can make the
actually
audio?
start the podcast?
All right, fair enough. Hey, welcome everybody to the AGT podcast, the first of its kind. My name is Ben. I'm your host, and joining me today is none other than.
Hello, I'm Kevin.
Hello.
I'm joining Ben.
This is Kevin. I'm Ben. This week's episode is brought to you by our sponsor, AlwaysGametime.com, which is, yes, us. But there is a new website that is being developed and worked on right now. Right now, there's not too much content going on, but just like this podcast and everything that you guys are going to be seeing, we're kind of building this thing from the ground up. So, first, like, pre-episode here, and the website is cool. You should check it out. What would be, if you could have anyone, any company, sponsor the podcast?
Oh, man.
What would you pick? And then whatever you pick, we'll talk about, and that's going to be the goal for this podcast. That's how we're going to know we've made it, is when we get the sponsor.
I mean...
Don't limit yourself. Anything.
Oh, man. Is it just one sponsor?
If you could have one, if you could contact anyone today and be like,
man. Can we have more than one? Well, not like now, but is that how sponsors
in the future? Yes, we could do.
Okay.
Yeah, we could have 50 sponsors, and we're looking for you too.
All right, just the first right off the bat.
Right. Well, you can think about it. We can talk about it.
It's immediate.
Okay. What's your
Rhodes Gold pretzels.
Okay, elaborate. Now remember, they're sponsoring this podcast. And I guess presumably what would they give us? Their product?
Why not?
Well, what else? I guess they could roll. It's cool.
Exactly. Just have some pretzels. Like, put some nails up here. Have some pretzels, you know?
Have some pretzels on the nails. That's
pretzels
good.
and cheese dip.
Like, sure. You know, honestly, I mean, it wouldn't probably be good for like an audio-friendly podcast because they'd be crunching.
Just ASMR pretzels.
You know what? I'd be down. Honestly, I'll collab. Rolls, if you're out there and you watch this first episode of the podcast, I guess that's what we're shooting for.
There you go.
I would think like the typical, probably along this line, you know, being gamers and stuff. We'll get into that, but probably like something to do with like gaming peripherals,
gunner optics.
You know, right? Gunner optics. We could wear those on the podcast each week. That would actually be hilarious. I don't know. I was thinking like Wendy's, dude. Like, yeah. Okay. I mean, we went.
Does Wendy's sponsor like
probably,
gaming things, esports, and all that?
Probably not. Maybe like public events and arenas.
I mean, I know like Taco Bell does some stuff with like esports, but
I mean, all I'm saying is Wendy's. If you need someone to rep the brand,
yeah, you know what? I changed my. Well, no, because I kind of like World's Cup.
Actually, you know what? Though we do have an issue, and sorry guys, we are going to get into an actual introduction here, but we were just talking right before the podcast. We have an issue with Wendy's right now, Kevin.
We do have an issue with Wendy's.
And probably a lot of you guys have this issue as well.
Listen, how it was maybe 4 years ago, 3 years ago, Wendy's had quite possibly their greatest creation ever.
Best thing by far. 2 of them, actually. It was a line of products.
I never tried the sandwich, but they had ghost pepper fries. Now, I kind of doubt it was actual ghost pepper in the sauce.
I don't know though. I mean, it was pretty spicy. There's actually a video on my channel way back when of the first time I tried them, and it was hot. But then the more you eat it, like it's just so good. And I'm convinced there's something.
Wait, wasn't there 2 videos of you doing it? Or no, that was the montage.
That was the montage of the training. Did we actually eat them in that? I think we did. Because what happened is they brought the ghost pepper fries out. They were amazing. The sandwich as well, which Kevin hasn't had. I thought it was amazing.
Too late.
They brought it out and they took it away for a while, but since then and now, they also had a second phase where it came out, and so people were thinking, oh, okay, it's just seasonal, right? It's just, surely it's going to be another one of those things but it's been longer. We haven't had any ghost pepper returns. Yeah.
I think it was just they had it come out for like a little bit, and then they took it away, and they were like, "Oh, well, we got all this extra sauce. Might as well
just like, you know what? We went heavy on the investment. We have this still. Let's re-release it."
Exactly.
Yeah. So anyway, Wendy's, you know.
Wendy's, if you're listening, I beg you, every single day.
There's not a day that goes by where I don't think about it.
Yeah, listen. You want a fan for life? Bring back those pepper fries.
I'm not gonna listen.
I will do anything you want, Wendy's.
When they bring it back, I'm not gonna say it's 100% because of this podcast,
but it's because of this podcast.
You guys know who to thank later. So,
exactly.
All right. In any case, that was an awesome anecdote. So yeah, let's kind of talk about us and what this podcast is gonna be. Clearly, if you didn't pick up on it, it's gonna be a random fun time of discussion of our personal lives, gaming, and like production too. Because one thing that we're excited to talk about in a little bit is we're not just making podcasts, we're also going to be doing some gaming content, some cool stuff like that too on the channel. But for those of you who have never seen anything about this, I'll kind of talk for a second. My name is Ben. Hi, everyone.
Hey, Ben.
And a long time ago, probably, and it's actually cool that we're doing this because you are actually the reason that this all got started, believe it or not. So I don't know if you knew that, but I had a not really like vision or like dream or goal or anything like that, because I mean everyone does it and that's kind of what we looked up to, but I wanted to start a gaming community kind of around Twitch and YouTube at the time, centered around gaming, because the idea for me that was so cool is that, especially on Twitch, that people all over the world can see content that you can make from your room, right? And so even if you aren't super social in like your actual like life or whatever, you can potentially reach out and contact people from everywhere. And a lot of the thing that's really cool to me about it too is like gaming is such a shared passion. Like whether you're old or young or, you know, whatever, just despite race or upbringing, like there's one common thing that can bring people together, and I think there's a lot of communities that do that pretty well, but I wanted to start my own. You know, I love video games. I've been playing video games since I was a wee child, and it's always been a part of my life, and I always like to talk too, so that's probably pretty evident. But I thought, you know what, shoot, I'll give this live streaming YouTube thing a try. I didn't know that I could be doing that until this guy over here. I think we were playing, it was either Destiny or Minecraft. I think Destiny was the first test stream that we did. No,
it was probably Minecraft, and I think Destiny was soon after.
And Kevin was like, you know, we were just talking about it because I was like, I couldn't stop thinking about it. I was talking about Twitch streaming, and he was like, you know, you could do that from your Xbox, right? And I was like, wait, what? Because I didn't have a computer, right? And all the stuff that I do today as part of the setup. And so immediately, like, we stopped whatever we were doing in Minecraft, and I started setting up a Twitch account and tested out like my first ever live stream like that night, and it was cool. Fell in love with it immediately. That being said, broadcasted to like 0 people for the first few months, but streaming theory we'll talk about some other time. So anyway, long story short is AlwaysGametime. I'm technically, I guess, what you would call the founder. I would love to turn this into a business someday that just helps promote positivity into the gaming environment and culture and everything. But was started way back when, 4 or 5 years ago, with the idea of bringing people together just who enjoy games and to create good content for those people too. And I think the goal for this podcast and pretty much everything moving forward is just to try to build awareness for what we're doing and improve like the quality of the stuff that we provide, and just to kind of bring people into and continue to grow what we have. We already have a Discord with people on it. You know, obviously we have a Twitch with, you know, almost 2,000 followers and things like that. So if you guys do want to get connected into the community we already have building up from where we are, we'll kind of tag that stuff in the future. And again, check out AlwaysGametime.com when you get a second. There'll be more to come on that site as well to kind of help facilitate you to those areas. So anyway, I've talked long enough. Kevin, tell these people who you are, what you do, why you're here, that kind of thing.
All right. Well, I mean, my name's Kevin. I've known Ben for a long time.
I mean, yeah, you were one of the first people I met moving to North Carolina. So it's been probably, I don't know, 13
years. Yeah, I've known Ben for a while. I mean, we met each other at church. Just, you know, growing up, little kids playing on the little N64 and stuff that they had in there. Yeah. Gosh, that was great. Remember that?
Those were good times.
But yeah, so doing that, you know, just hanging out with each other in church, you know, hanging out outside, you know, going to play disc golf every now and then. I mean, we used to do that. Don't really do that much anymore, but you know, it was pretty fun. You know, us and our group of friends, you know, playing board games, just playing video games in general, just having a good time, having a blast, and just still hanging out after all these years. I mean, we might have some of those people on the podcast maybe one day.
But I'd love to. Yeah. So right now, and we'll talk about this whole makeup right now too, but yeah, I mean, honestly, we've talked about doing a podcast for a while. So it's just, we figured, hey, let's actually, you know, not just talk about it. Let's get something out there. We're expecting it to get better as it goes, but to kind of kick this off, this whole thing, right now we can really only accommodate for 2 people, but we'd love guests in the future. Dude, this set, you know, I have this curse, right, people? where and I think Kevin probably identifies with this too, because we're both creative types. And I, in particular, will do this thing where I get an idea in my head, and I'm so locked in, and I can see a clear vision of like what I want the end result to be, that I'm like, all right, I'm not going to stop thinking about this or working on this till it's done, right? And I'm like, all right, let's do this project. Doesn't matter the scale. It's going to be great. But then when you actually do it, you realize, holy crap, what was I thinking? This is so much work. And you get to this point of no return where it's like you've invested a couple hours into this project or however long you've invested, and now all you want to do is quit. It's like, I don't want to finish this. This is awful. I regret this decision. And so this podcast set was kind of one of those. As happy as I am with how everything turned out and that I am to be here.
Gosh, it turned out really good. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Yeah, thank you. I'm really happy with it too. Rather than just having us on a couch with like a blank wall and stuff, I had an idea and some inspiration from other podcasts and people that I've seen work on YouTube. And I was like, man, you know what would be super cool to fill this background? Would be like this herringbone, like wood design or whatever. And I knew that my grandfather, he does amazing work with like, he's just a craftsman, right? He's got this tool shed, wood. He has like, I'm not exaggerating, 400 wooden pallets in his backyard. He's Grandpa, if you see this, I love it, but it's a little crazy. He's building this super awesome like shed in his backyard. So I was like, okay, access to wood. I have a few tools. Why not? And I think it's good to challenge yourselves periodically in life with tasks that you're not really familiar with. I never really worked with like power tools and stuff growing up. But in our age, in our culture, I feel like a lot of the time watching a YouTube guide, it's like, oh, okay, this is really simple. I see exactly what I should be doing. Actually applying it can be a lot tougher. But the long story short of this huge thing, the most like the centerpiece for the podcast, it was a pain in the butt, man. It was such hard, and I got to give a huge shout out to my dad. I was doing most of it kind of just with my wife and like, you know, in my off time, but my dad really stepped up and had really good ideas for the project, did a lot of the labor for the project to help with me. And so, anyway, long story short, I hope you guys enjoy the podcast set. We're working on one of the first things I'd like to upgrade is probably the camera, right? And I think hopefully the audio sounds pretty good and all that stuff, but this is our starting point, and we're going to run with it, and we think it looks good, and we're happy that you guys can join us on the journey, because, you know, if we kept this up for 10 years, no pressure. But if we kept this going, you know, to look back on this episode would be, yeah. I'm actually only going to live for another 9, so this is awkward. No. Anyway, so long story short, thank you guys for joining us with this, and hope you guys enjoy this. Maybe to give them a little bit more background on us too, top 3 games. I'm putting him on the spot. This is not pre-recorded, scripted, prepared, none of it. So.
Just of all time, or just of any
top
game ever?
Top 3, yeah. I mean, and maybe as a bonus, what you're kind of playing right now as like your main. You know, and you can do that in any order.
Well, see, the game that I'm playing right now is kind of lame. I mean, I'm playing 2K19 NBA.
Okay, well, that's cool.
I re-downloaded this game on PlayStation the other day. It's called Resogun. It was like the first game that I had on PS4.
Yeah.
I think it's only like PlayStation 3 and 4 and Vita, which is sad because it's a really good game for anyone. But oh my gosh, I forgot how good it was. Huh. You're like, it kind of feels like Knack, where it has like the little like tiny cube, whatever things. Yeah. It kind of has that sort of feel to it, but it's like a side scroller type thing where you go around in like a circle and you're shooting all these like alien ships and that they break apart and you have to save humans.
I'm gonna need you guys on the internet.
1000% recommend to look it up.
So yeah, Resogun apparently. Okay, so wait, hold on. So 2K19 is what you're playing now.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's lots of people that play 2K, by the way, and I'm glad that you play sports games because I don't play sports games. The last sports game I played was probably like Madden 16, and I enjoyed Madden. I have the hockey one. What's the new hockey one? Yeah,
you have NHL 19?
It was free, yeah. So I downloaded
when was it free?
It was Games with Gold, I think.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were talking about...
Yeah, so, but anyway, I'm not a huge sports guy, so that's good. We have different backgrounds and stuff. So, yeah, what are some other games? I mean, I know you said Resogun, but...
the original Luigi's Mansion 1 was honestly probably one of my favorite games ever.
Sure.
I remember playing the crap out of that game, just with me. My mom would, like, play every now and then. That was a really good game.
Are you excited for the new one, then?
I mean, I have to get a Switch first.
Yeah, I have a Switch. We can make some content.
True. There we go. Yeah, if you guys would like that.
There you go.
But yeah, it looks pretty good. I've seen like some gameplay of it. It looks really good.
Yeah.
It kind of. I saw gameplay of the second one, Dark Moon or New Moon or whatever it was called, and it looks. I mean, it was all right.
Sequels are always hard, and in the industry, right?
But then the third.
We'll see. It
looks pretty good.
It's interesting you said that. Remind me before we end to talk about something, but that's good. So yeah, Luigi's Mansion. I know the new one that's coming out. The big topic on the internet was Gooigi. Have you seen that? The little slime ball. It's pretty disgusting. I mean, gotta be honest. But it allows for what is it? It's like 8-player multiplayer. I think it is.
I think so. Yeah, I saw it, and they're like all like little Luigi's running around.
And I've never played Luigi's Mansion. I've barely even seen content on Luigi's Mansion. So that would be fun for us. Maybe you get your hands on play through it, and I can do a video or something too.
I have 2 GameCubes sitting in my closet. If I can find the cables,
we'd have to get some adapters and stuff too. But yeah, we'll check it out. All right, one more game. You got Resident Evil Luigi's. I didn't expect all these classics, but
well, I'm just trying to think about games that I had a great time playing.
Yeah, I mean, games that were significant to you, right? I mean, that's what.
True.
You know.
Gosh, I mean, Battlefield 4 was a really good game, but I'm trying to stay away from the online multiplayer.
Massive multiplayer shooter games.
Yeah, I'm trying to stay away from those.
There is a trend I definitely feel like in the industry where those are really hot right now for viewing, for esports, for competitive multiplayer, but I just find as I'm older too, I still enjoy those games, but it's important to have story-based games, and I'll rant about that anyway. But
Halo 3.
Halo 3.
I think that's it. Well,
Halo 3 was peak gamer days too for our generation. I feel like.
I mean, I loved Halo 2, enjoyed Halo 2, I just had a fantastic time with it. But Halo 3 was one of the first I'm a gamer.
Let's do this, gamers. Was it Halo 2 that introduced akimbo, 2 guns?
I think was that Combat Evolved with the pistols.
No, so just you could have an SMG and
I know for a fact it was in Halo 2.
Okay, I was gonna say I didn't know if that was the third game. Is the Halo I've played the least of.
Really, you haven't played Halo 3 that much?
I played through Halo 1 50 times as a kid, just the campaign. Didn't know about multiplayer then. Halo 2, a lot of campaign, similar. I pretty much skipped over from 3 to Reach. Reach was pretty good. Reach was my big Halo game. I loved the story. The multiplayer was just really big. And also at the time too, I remember watching a lot of Reach content on YouTube, fail videos and things like that. Yeah. And that was also a similar period of time where I was transitioning into viewing so much online content. Yeah. That we all did. So I mean, that's a pretty good list. I've never heard of Resogun, but the other 2 I can respect.
I mean, it was one of the first games that was I think it was free the very first month with PS Plus whatever came out.
Yeah.
It was free with that, and I remember first getting the PlayStation and grabbing that, and it was so good back then, and I was able to re-download it the other day, and it was so good again the other day. It was just a great game.
Yeah,
I highly recommend.
So I guess my list, I mean, when people ask favorite games of all time, it's a hard question. You did well. And how can you come up? There's so many games, especially if you've played. If I had to guess how many video games I've played, not all the way through, but just played, it's got to be 200 or more probably. So that's a hard list to choose from. But my first answer is always the Gears of War franchise. Yeah. One that was in that peak gamer thing for me. That's kind of one of the first games that transitioned me into the world of gaming. So it's obviously significant to me for that. But also my dad, I remember playing through the Berserker mission on Gears of War 1, and I just kept dying and didn't know how to beat it. And my dad, also really didn't know what was going on with that video game, but still sat there and he would be like, give me the controller or whatever, and try to take over. And we kind of worked on that game together a little bit, playing through from start to finish. So, also fond memories there, but just good, I think today still one of the biggest reasons I love the franchise is the character and world building. You really feel the bonds between these people, and it's stupid because it's mostly cheesy one-liners. I've recently been going back through and playing because Gears of War 5 got announced at E3, which I'm super excited about. But the character development is really solid, and it's back in those OG days of gaming for me for sure too. I would say if there was another one, my list is going to be mostly shooters, probably. Obviously, Call of Duty franchise, right? Huge.
But which one?
Specifically, there's 2 of them. I can't, and people are going to judge me hard for this, but Modern Warfare 2 was my jam, right? I played that game all the time, nonstop. Love that. and Black Ops 3.
All right.
with
lost me a little bit, not gonna lie.
And the reason I say that is the only Call of Duty I've ever master prestiged in. I grinded with Parker, one of our friends. If you help, maybe make an appearance on the show sometime, to get Dark Matter, which was super cool at the time, getting all the camos on the guns. And I had the most hours in it, but I also played the best in it. For a lot of people hated wall jumping and all that stuff. I, for whatever reason, clung to it and it grasped it really naturally. So skill wise, that was the game I probably peaked at in Call of Duty terms. But Modern Warfare 2 was always the best in my opinion, other than like the annoying lobbies with the nukes. Like I feel like if you went back and played it today, you'd get a nuke in every lobby just because the kill streaks counted towards your other kill streaks. Which is one of the only Call of Duties to do that, I'm pretty sure.
It was like, oh god, the perfect setup was like Harrier,
Chopper Gunner,
and then...
Or no, it was Harrier, AC-130,
Chopper Gunner, and then you get
or you could do which one, So, in any case, so those are two big franchises, obviously huge in my life. I'm trying to think of like a more story, like indie. I mean, Minecraft, I'll probably say, right?
Honestly,
Minecraft's huge game, obviously. I wish I had cooler answers for you guys, but was really significant to me. Also, we had a work experience for over a year and a half, 2 years probably cumulatively, where we utilized Minecraft in the business to teach kids, which was pretty cool. So Minecraft will always kind of be significant. It's annoying to me sometimes, but seeing how that has influenced gaming overall, it's just pretty wild, man. Have you seen that thing where it's like Minecraft VR?
Oh yeah, it's Minecraft Earth, isn't that what it's called?
Yeah, so there's that one. I think so. I'm thinking of two. There's one where you can like literally like pull the world and like build structures with your hands and stuff, which is nuts. I think that might be the Minecraft Earth. But the other thing is just you can play Minecraft with VR now. Like you can literally be Steve walking around and creepers can like come up and some of the funniest content that I've seen in a while is people just losing their mind because of creepers. Like,
oh yeah, I've seen like clips of that on Twitter.
Yep. Yeah. And like there's I spent 24 hours in Minecraft VR video that went really viral recently. So in any case, wild tangent. That's what you guys can expect from the podcast. Maybe now you guys will kind of have a better idea of our upbringing and games that interest us. I think on next week's podcast, we're going to dive into a little bit about games that are coming out that excite us as one of our topics. But yeah, I mean, other things outside of gaming, things that interest us. Kevin and I really want to start a food truck.
Oh my gosh, I would love to start a food truck.
That'd be really cool. We both love food, if that wasn't obvious. But like food truck, like we like working with people too, you know. Mm-hmm. So food truck's just kind of an interesting thing on our forefront. Don't really know how that ties in with this business. Disc golf, as Kevin mentioned, something we never do anymore, but need to because A, good exercise, but B, it's just fun, man. I don't know. I love it. It's
really fun just getting out there in the woods and just getting like a little bit dirty, you know, because you got like all the whatever grass and dirt around and just.
Speaking of getting dirty, like wiping out, that happens a lot. Like Parker's fallen before. I've fallen.
Just
really
slipping, whatever, just hitting like a road branch.
So North Carolina, which was where we're from. Hopefully that is okay for us to defer. She's also wearing Panthers. Is officially been named the birthplace of disc golf.
Really? I didn't know it was official.
Specifically, yep. At least from my sources, you know, that's what I heard. But it's also the internet, so so it's cool because I grew up and Kevin grew up and we grew up in this birthplace. So there's a lot of courses nearby. One of the courses that we play the most because it's super close to us is just all leaves on the ground.
Basically, because it's inside like a forest, not forest, but like the woods.
I mean, it's heavily wooded, for sure.
And so just leaves everywhere, branches everywhere, roots just sticking up out of the ground.
The roots of the worst. So we would play this game where if you caught someone tripping like on a root or like falling, you would basically keep tally of whoever tripped the most, and then they'd have some kind of punishment. But it's hard on that course. I mean, it's really like it's heavily wooded, which also means you hit trees with your disc, and then you got to go find them in the deeper woods.
You see someone, hear someone just teeing off, then.
Yep. So you'll see someone throw, you'll hear a loud smack, and then they'll just scream the F word. It's really fun. If you guys have never tried it, I definitely recommend it. It's an easy sport to get into, but there's a high skill gap. I mean, there's actually, and again, sorry if I'm rambling too much. You steer us in. something amazing in the world of disc golf, which I don't know if I've ever really talked with you about. Dude, the coverage of the sport, the YouTube videos that you can actually watch now to watch professional disc golf, which I know some of you are probably like, it's a real thing. These people get paid to play. It's better than watching golf, in my opinion.
Whoa,
Listen, if you care about the sport. If you don't care about disc golf, maybe not to you. But they literally, like the camera angles, and I'm specifically talking about Jomez Pro, if you guys have ever seen.
Yeah.
They have like cards giving you stats about the players. They like keep track of the score throughout the course. They follow flight on like drives that are like super close, like almost aces or like park the hole or whatever. It is good. They have drone coverage of all the holes that shows you from tee pad to where the hole goes. And honestly, it is super entertaining. I don't know. That's just my whole bit on. Anyway, if you're looking to get into disc golf, Jomez Pro, that'll show you what the pros are like, and then you'll feel discouraged about your own play. So.
True.
I had to drink some water.
Oh yeah, go for it. But yeah.
So, anything else that rounds us out as people, Kevin, that you think they need to know? Play guitar, both of us.
Play guitar.
Like music.
I love movies. Specific. I know some people don't like all these superhero movies,
dude.
But I'm a huge
Spider-Man.
Fan. Oh my god!
I think we have like a week. It's less than a week. I'm pretty sure because I think yesterday
July
I was scrolling.
2nd?
Yep. So that's I don't know. Maybe that's
I don't know.
Friday. Thursday,
I think it's
Wednesday,
7 days.
Tuesday, Monday. It should be Monday is when it comes out, right? Monday or Tuesday? No. Do movies come out? Movies come out on Fridays, right?
I'm not sure. What's today? The 26th.
Just to date this video, yeah. Today's the 26th. So. The second would be for 6 days.
6 days.
Yeah, 6 days. So
next Tuesday.
Dude, it looks so good. I've been keeping up with like their little like leaks here and there.
Yeah, I don't want to like look at them, but I always end up looking at them anyway. I'm like, I don't want to see this unreleased clip, but
dude, it looks so good. Did you hear about the Nick Fury thing?
I did not.
Jackson.
Okay, but do I want to know it?
Yeah, he's pissed. It's not a spoiler. He's pissed. There is a movie poster like with him in it about Spider-Man: Far From Home. Sorry, I guess he might be in the movie as a cameo. That's the whole thing. But
Nick Fury is in the movie, unless you're talking about someone else.
For sure, I haven't seen the trailer for even Spider-Man. I've seen I've seen the first trailer, but I didn't know if it was in a trailer that he's confirmed in it.
I mean,
yeah, he shows up with the dart. Okay, yeah. So Nick Fury's in the movie. There's a poster of him. There's two different versions they printed. And his eye patch is swapped in both.
Oh, no.
And he was pissed. He was like, are you kidding me? This is $1 million production. And in one of the posters, the eye patch and makeup and stuff, I guess, is just either... It's not like he's mirrored, because if it was mirrored, that'd be wonderful.
Yeah, I was going to say...
But it's absolutely, at least from what I saw on Twitter, the wrong eyeballs covered up. Which I'm like, how does he not know in that instance that hit the wrong eye? I don't know.
Because, I wouldn't think that would be CGI. I would think that they would actually just throw an eye patch on him.
Maybe I'm wrong. Correct me in the comments if I am. Anyway, that's just kind of what I thought was crazy. I was like, how do you make that mistake? It's like the Game of Thrones thing, which we both recently finished watching. It ended. Everyone's sad about.
I'm not super upset about it, but still, it's one of those things where it's like, all right, this is such a huge operation, and you pay so much money, you can't really...
I get it, though, right? Like, there's a lot of moving parts. Just to record this podcast today, Kevin and I had to spend 20 minutes. God. We spent 20 minutes looking for our Roku TV remote because... I couldn't turn the TV on without it, which is also horrible.
Why does this TV not have an on and off button?
There's no on. You literally can't operate the TV without the physical remote. And it's like 4 inches long.
Yeah.
So it's... Anyway, last thing I kind of want to talk about to wrap up this pre-episode. We're releasing this as like a 0.1 because it's our really first shot at it. So we'll upload it. We'll get some feedback from you guys. Hopefully, actually, we're going to record the second one probably today too. So whatever. We'll get your guys' feedback though after the first couple releases and see what you guys want to see better on the show and things like that. Logistics standpoint though, if you guys are watching this right now, then you probably picked up on it. I'm actually not going to be able to do the Twitch premiering like I want to the first 2 episodes because I'm going to be out of town.
Sure.
So I was like, can't do that. But after the pre-episode, what we're going to do with these podcasts is we're going to premiere them live on our Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/AlwaysGametime. It's really like my Twitch channel, but I'm bringing Kevin into the fold because, again, in the future, I'd love to expand this into a business where like we're actually like working to make content and release merchandise and all this other cool stuff. But so twitch.tv/AlwaysGametime is where our podcast will premiere live. That way you guys can watch it every single week, get in, and we can all chat together as a community. And then immediately afterwards, it will be posted on YouTube for viewing through the week or whatever. So I think we're going to release these on Mondays. Well, maybe, whatever day you see this, that'll be the day moving forward. And then 2 other gaming videos a week, at least to start with. Because right now, the studio is my house, and Kevin has to come over. So we're going to see what we can get done for you guys. We're also both looking for... other work too. Yeah. Sorry, not to expose you or anything. No, so, we're gonna try to keep to that standard as much as we can. And then, if everything starts coming in hot, then we'll release more content. The more that you guys enjoy the stuff and support the stuff, the more that we can do. So, I guess hashtag. What is it when you plug your own stuff?
Isn't that it? Hashtag sponsored?
No, there's a thing for it, but just to plug the podcast, we do hope you guys enjoy it, but give us feedback in the comments down below, and make sure you share it with your friends. It's going to be on literally every platform, Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, Twitch. It'll be posted to the website as well. So, but yeah, the more of you guys we can get listening to us ramble about random stupid stuff, the better, and hopefully you guys can join us on this journey. So, all right, that's it for me. You got anything else?
No, just glad to see where this goes.
Yeah, this was fun. Yeah. As I suspected, we had no sense of direction whatsoever, but that's okay. We'll cover more that way. So, cool. All right, you guys. Well, we will see you guys on the first official release in the next podcast. Thank you all very much. Again, shout out to you guys for being here, and we'll see you next time.
Deuces.
I think you could put your body however you want to put your body.
Well, I mean,
if we're talking bodies, we got a perfect one, so put
is that copyright?
Yeah, but we probably won't make it in. It might make it in. Maybe there'll be a blooper. I don't know.